I started learning about AIDS in 1988 when I was in junior high school, believe it or not, through the American Red Cross. And they came and did some training with the young people to try to tell us about the disease, how you get it, how you don't get it. And I remembered what they said, but I pretty much kind of let that go. And then I saw a documentary, Blacks in America, with Soledad O'Brien on CNN. And her segment about AIDS really struck me. It kind of made me angry because I started hearing what she was saying, and I was listening to the portion where she said that black women are the most affected by the virus. And I was struck because I said, we're still getting AIDS? You know, I completely moved on, and I thought it was fine, but it's apparently not fine. And I couldn't sleep that night. I just couldn't sleep thinking about how we're still being affected by AIDS. And so I told my husband, I said, I'm gonna do something about this. And he said, well, what are you gonna do? I'm starting to get more into national news because I write for Examiner.com, the DC version of it, Examiner.com. I also write for thebody.com, which is more of a national online source. It's a one-stop, everything you need to know about HIV and AIDS. And I also cover news for the Black AIDS Institute, and they're based in California. So a lot of my stories now are starting to cover more national news and issues that affect everyone across the nation, not just in DC. I think the media has probably one of the most influential parts to fighting this disease, because if we're talking it up, that's where America's going to focus. And we're going to continue to just kind of brush it off, then people will brush it off as well. But I think with the media, what we need to do more of is getting those messages out there, because not only does that help people remember that AIDS still exists, it also helps to decrease the stigma. If I were giving a grade to the mainstream media about how they cover HIV and AIDS news, I'd give them a D, because we only seem to cover, or they only seem to cover it when something negative happens. If I would tell them to get out there and talk to people who actually have the virus. I think that's another place where we go wrong, is that we want to talk to the experts, the doctors, the nonprofit organizations, the government officials, but you're not talking to people who actually have the virus, and they're the ones who can speak about it the most. How do I reach the people that aren't already involved? You do it in small chunks. AIDS is a big disease. I mean, there's a lot to it. There's a lot of political problems with it. There's a lot of problems in just the biological standpoint. There's a lot of socioeconomical. There's a lot of racism in it. And that's a lot for someone to take in who's not already involved. If they're not infected, if they're not part of a population that is prone to be infected, that's a lot to take in. So with my writing, what I'm trying to do is make sure that people learn about it, but in small, digestible chunks. Now, my response to people who think that it's not a big deal anymore is that you haven't seen the side effects of some of these medications. I mean, it's growing. It's great that they have these medications available, but you have to find the right combination of medications to take in order to live well with this disease, and that can be a painful and terrible process. It can debilitate you. We want to really do something to stop this virus. We've got to stop the stigma. We've got to decrease that tremendously. And again, that comes from getting the message out there, talking about it more, making it more important in all areas that we can stop this virus.